Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game of the Max and part one of our Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich Austrian Empire campaign. So, while we are starting off on the start screen, Kaiserreich has had their major update for their island focus tree. So it did make all of our old saves incompatible, but Ireland has updated. They've got a whole new focus tree. I'm going to finish out my Austria and my Middle Africa campaign, and then we will most definitely be jumping in to the Ireland campaign. But I really wanted to get Austria done, the Austrian Hungarian Empire done, and on top of that, I wanted to get Middle Africa done before we jump over to Ireland. Or I might do Austria, then jump to Ireland, and jump back to Middle Africa. But I didn't realize I'm really bad about keeping up with the updates about Kaiserreich. Like I'm on their notification list and stuff. I have it notify me, and sometimes I get busy and I don't look at my notifications about it. So they did have their massive update, which I was expecting to hear in the next little bit anyway. But I missed out, and we'll just have to restart. I was gonna just get to the point for episode 2. The problem is everything can change in Kaiserreich or in Hearts of Iron. You can start one campaign and it'll be completely different than the campaign you had just played. So I didn't feel like I felt like a little bit of a disservice jumping into episode 2 and being like, hey, this happened in episode 1, but now in episode 2 it's a lot different. So that's why I just decided to restart. If you guys would like to read, this is the situation of Austria at this point. We're going to hit continue on. And if you guys remember starting out, Austria's military is absolutely trash. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in me being honest, that they're absolute trash. And let's see. I'll probably keep... I'm actually probably going to delete... all the motorized, and probably 2 of these tank divisions. We'll get 14 light tank or 24 light tanks. Start up on our research. Pretty standard stuff here. I'm actually going to go for the 36 tanks early, the improved tanks early. I really don't like the Graf and Stift fast tank designer. I don't care for them. I like Skoda pretty well, the more armor. I wouldn't even really hate CLB, but the speed, I think we'll just go with tank refurbishment for right now. Alright. Well, we need a lot of guns, a lot of support equipment, a lot of artillery. Start producing those tanks out. Let's get Steyr, Bolher AG, Leopold Waffenwerks. And for the tanks, we'll just keep up with the tank refurbishment. For our ships, we only have those, and then these planes are pretty horrible, but I'm going to let them build out. Now, the economy's not great, but I'm going to have to pretty much trade away almost all of my economy just to get rubber, all the steel I need, and some chromium. We'll get chromium from Russia. Actually, I want to go back to steel. Yeah, we're not going to get it from Germany. We're going to get it from Bohemia because they are our puppet or a crown land, and we get a majority of their stuff anyway. And then we'll just put you all onto build. Go to our navy. Our navy is actually quite large. We're going to put good old Nicholas Horthy in charge of our he's old guard, but he's not a bad general or admiral at all. And then our submarine guy, we'll put George von Trapp. He seems like the best. And then Maximilian von Habsburg. He will be our scout fleet when they get made up. And then civilian factories. I'm not going to expect that we have a whole lot going to be coming. But I'm going to get one fuel silo here. Here. Or one there. And then 2 civ factories back there. Might be asking why I'm getting the fuel silo. Just because I'm going to try to, as best as I can, get my fuel capacity up. When my Navy starts to train, the fuel just disappears. So it's much better for me to try to get that going. We can't do anything in our focus tree just yet, which is fine. But we're going to crank it up to 4 speed. I'll show you our national spirit. So we have the Austro-Hungarian Tides Broken, which gives us daily political power gain, negative 0.15, and then consumer good factors plus 15%. We have the Vienna Circle, which gives us plus 3% research speed. We have Fruits of the Open Door, which is resource gain efficiency plus 5%, and construction speed plus 5%. And then we are a member of Middle Europa. We're going to hit play. Yep, all of our supplies are good now. The Central European Customs Union returns to activity. The Central European Customs Union, more commonly known as Middle Europa, has returned back to action. Once again, summits of the foreign affairs ministers of the organizations are being held, each one with the intention of coordinating the economies of the allies and facilitating easier flow of goods. Over time, Middle Europa expands to several official and unofficial fields of activity, and the interest of the member states may take it to aid in one field or another. Of course, certain intellectuals and politicians envision a bit more and dreams of the chance to reform the organization and create something new. A German economic hegemony, a fulfillment of pan-European dreams. Time will tell. Good. And I want an arms factory. Alright. We'll crank up to 4 speed. Let's go. Yeah, we have low manpower. Whoops. Let's get you guys on the border here. And let's keep going. We are going to consider and try to still make Poland a part of our faction. We'll acquire Polish shares and we'll siphon funds to the LPP. Alexander Kerensky is assassinated in Russia. And then, of course, we have voting rights on the Legation Council. The Legation Cities were formed in 1928 as results of the Americans' intervention in the Zili-Fangtang conflict that they believed was going to spill over into open war between the Japanese and their Fangtang puppets and the Zili and their German backers. When a passenger train was attacked by Chinese warlords, America saw the opportunity to mediate not only in order to create a more permanent solution to the instabilities in the East, but also enshrine the open door policy in China, which allows all powers equal access to the Chinese markets. Consisting of all official concessions in China as well as a 30-mile neutral zone, the Legation Cities, officially known as the International Mandate for the Chinese Concessions, also has to form the Legation Council for the various powers with interest in China to cooperate in the Far East policy. Though the Austro-Hungarian Empire does have a voting position on the Council, we mostly abstain on the harebrained plans proposed by the Americans, Germans, and Japanese, supporting only such self-evidently reasonable motions as economic relief for the Chinese and their own citizens. A perfect arrangement, gain 25 political power. Which we can... I'm going to wait and siphon funds first, and then I'll buy some shares. Because we actually own the majority of shares right now. If I can. They're not considered authoritarian democracy, so maybe I can't do it. But we'll save up to that 60 anyway. We're getting 1.97 political power a day. Just because we can't do any focuses. Oh, my planes. Yeah, I do need... I guess we only have these guys. Weinar, Nostarer, Flugezewerk. Maybe? And we can't even do the close air support. Oh, we can. Ground attack's better. Yeah, that's okay. Austria, Aviatik. And we need 7,000 rifles. I'm gonna kind of check around on the market and make sure that there's nothing that I can't buy. Boris Semenkov is assassinated. So I am selling some of our old equipment. Yes, I am. I'll buy that equipment off of you. Just because, again, we don't have very many factories to begin with anyway. And we'll lose most of them here. Let's siphon the funds. Then we'll buy some more shares of the Polish market. Edward VIII is crowned as King of Great Britain. Interesting. But yeah, I thought about just like speedrunning to where we were kind of left at, and then I was like, you know, like I don't mind to. Dmitry Romanov is appointed the interim president, but I also felt like it was again like a kind of a disservice because you guys like, in my opinion, you guys like watching the whole process, and that's why you all have continued to watch me, and I appreciate all of you that continue to watch, even if I'm kind of inconsistent sometimes, and sometimes it's not the best content. I just I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come and watch, and I didn't think it was right for me to just kind of randomly start over again and have a bunch of other things happen. Black Monday, Mangat, and the fifth Anglo-Afghani War. Who cares about Afghanistan? But Ireland has a huge focus tree now, by the way. It's a lot bigger than what it was. So this is their government focus trees. These two are economic focuses. That's them on the world stage, and that's their army. So it'll be fun when we actually get back into it and play them again. Of course, there's no equipment on the market. And Black Monday hits Austria. Black Monday has hit Germany, and it would not be long before its shockwaves ripples across Europe. Given its close proximity, Austria was among the first to be affected. The economy is struggling, and troubling times lie ahead. Ochgott, the aftermath of Black Monday, which grants us stability negative 20%, construction speed negative 60%, production efficiency cap negative 20%, and factory output negative 50%, plus resources to market negative 40%. Pretty devastating. Let's buy some more Polish shares. And let's also, let's see, trade I'm good with. Well, I guess I don't need to trade for so much aluminum. But steel I'm going to keep up. And let's see. Go to my focus tree. The general election hasn't occurred yet, so we're just going to continue to accumulate political power, which is fine. The Austrian elections in 1936. Since federalization began and the Austrian elections were more reduced to the German-speaking part of the empire, two major parties have dominated Austrian politics, the CS and the SDAP. This year's election, too, are harshly fought. The SDAP and the CS have very different ideas of dealing with the ongoing economic crisis. The SDAP's program focuses on easing the workers' plight with a focus on the unemployment benefits and government intervention. The CS, on the other hand, follows a program of severe austerity measurements. It is for the people to decide. Well, the people do not know what's best for them, so we're going to choose social conservatism for them. Withdrawing from the Italian Republic, Black Money has hit the Austrian Empire hard enough that many of our companies have been forced to withdraw from the Italian Republic. Not only has our economic hold over the Italians weakened, we also cannot afford to maintain our occupation forces there. For good or ill, the Italian Republic is now effectively independent. We will have to maintain a working relation with them at least until we can restore our strength. Our sphere of influence retracts. The Italian Republic becomes free, and we get a non-aggression pact with them. That is something different. I most definitely will be doing. I will not let the A&I take power. Not like I done that day. I'll probably either do this one or probably try to do the stable democracy one. They don't ever like rejoin us, but you know, that's okay. Opening of school and the SDAP rally. Even if the economic situation of Austria has been dire for a while, the first years after the Weltkrieg, when the CS and SDAP still cooperated in their governance, the Austrian Empire saw widespread reforms in the education and welfare. Academies for specialized workers began construction. Workers' pensions were introduced, and child labor was once and for all eliminated. Vienna has been regarded as a frontrunner in socialist circles. Today, a new academy is opened in the 9th District of Vienna, which the SDAP sees as a major success. Many speeches by various politicians are held. Karl Renner always standing in the background. Renner has been the effective head of the party since he found the goodwill of the emperor during the Weltkrieg with a policy of Burgfrieden and cooperation with the crown. We get their effects are praiseworthy, or I'd prefer it if they don't claim the success of a joint government as their own. Add socialist promises, which grants daily political power gain negative 0.10 point negative 10, and daily socialist democrat support plus 0.2. Change popularity of social democracy plus 7%, and it gets Aldar denounced as the SDAP, or I'd prefer if they don't claim the success of a joint government. Gives socialist promises still, but it only changes the popularity of social democracy plus 2%. So we're going to do that one. We're going to endorse the Kreislich Sozial, which is the conservative Christian party. The illusion of Queen hegemony shatters. And the CS invites Prince Otto to hunt. The CS, the party of the Petit Bourgeois, the Catholic Church, and the conservative countryside usually refrains from holding large public events. In Vienna, they instead focus their efforts on smaller private meetings. One such planned meeting will be in the form of a hunt in the Wienerwald. Prince Otto was formally invited to join the hunt. Having enjoyed an aristocratic education, the Habsburg heir is already used to social occasions. If he wants to, one of the two options will happen. 80% gets a successful hunt, or hunting accident, Prince Otto is hurt. Please make sure he's not hurt. The Ang Queen clique declared war on the left Kuomintang. So the League. Oh. Every time that happens, this happened twice, I always have to like hold my breath, because even though it's 80%, you still have that 20% that he could die or something. Following the hunt, a feast was held during which the radio interview with several prominent CS members, but also Prince Otto, was recorded. It seems like this was on purpose, as Prince Otto is now being associated with the party, and support amongst our most devoted subjects for the party has increased. Is this what they were hunting for? Change the popularity of social conservatism plus 3%. Marshal Wu Peifu backs Nanjing, which is the German arm of the China faction, so they're going to placate the assembly and request a German bailout. So the Qing Empire, or the Qing government is what I should say, and the Nanjing clique are going to stay loyal with the Germans. The Shandong clique declared war. Zhang Zhoushang, the dog meat general. And you guys should be getting volunteers from both Germany and the Qing government. And sometimes the legation council also joins in, but we shall see. Restoration of democracy in Australasia. So now they are the UAP, the Social Conservatives. The elections, the final tally is in, and after a hard-fought election campaign, we shall find out the winner. Isn't this exciting? So excited. The CS wins the election. Who would have figured? The final counts for the elections are in. While it was a close call, the overwhelming majority of the countryside voters have made the CS come first. Austria is Kreislich Sozial. As divided society, change in popularity of social conservatism, and the Austrian Empire completes the general elections of 1936. Awesome. We can start doing the National Austerity Council. Military seizes power in Mexico. Mexican democracy died as it lived. That actually was updated somewhat into the focus tree, or into this last update. It did something, I can't remember, but it did fix Mexico joining the Mexican coup, joining some faction. And then on top of that, like I said, Ireland has a brand new tree, which I'll be interested to find out what they go with. Sylvia Pankhurst is elected chairwoman of the TUC with the wild hair, old. The death of Pius the 11th. How terrible. Pierre Monet. KMT and India's socialists overthrow Tibet, and Gayo seizes control in Ecuador. A lot of stuff happened in the world. Production wise, only 5,000 rifles. Low. We can buy a bunch of these Sichuan click. Let's see how many we have 7. We can always just convert these. If I put put 5 factories on it. We'll buy those from Mr. Swanclick. The 9th International Congress. Can negotiate licenses with the 2 Sicilies. And I don't think they have anything really to trade. We can look. Let's see, oil. Pretty much no one has oil to trade. Probably be buying it from the United States here at some point. Try to get our fuel gain up. But that's for a later time. That's once we finish our economic path. Let's get radios. A famine breaks out in Sichuan. The year just keeps getting worse. Let's see, with you guys. Yeah, you got German East Asian and Qing government troops. You already took Anqing. Knock out them. Push north. And the Minggang insurgency is not doing very well. You got Kurt von Schleicher appointed as the Reichschancellor. Which in our last playthrough, which I will probably take that episode down, Germany actually fell to their, not the conservative, but the Republican government. So we'll see if von Schleicher keeps power. Kind of wish he didn't, but it happens a lot when the AI. The litigation cities voting for a bailout. The black money has left deep scars in the global economy, in particular on the Deutsche Asiatic Bank in Shanghai, which seems to have fallen victim to unscrupulous business practices and possible insider trading. Our delegations are now seeking guidance on how they should vote concerning the possible bailout of the DAB. We'll approve it. It's not really much of a difference to us, but meh. They'll probably knock out the Queen click there, and they'll then probably force north against the dog meat general. Let's do removing the socialist compromises, and I don't care about now more. Stability and political power gains nice. Construction speed. Yeah, let's do him the stability and the political power gain. The higher your stability, the more political power you'll get. Better consumer good factor, -% factory output. Yeah, the Minggang insurgency got wrecked early. We probably could send some volunteers over here. Congratulations, Kompwagen. We find a good armored officer. You know what? We'll actually put old Ludwig. Send volunteers. We'll send Ludwig over there. Alright, left Kuomintang, or the Anqing, were destroyed there. The influences in the Italian government. In 1919, we signed an armistice with the Kingdom of Italy, which allowed us to garrison Lombardy and Venetia. Until the treaty was signed, the Italians were little pleased with this defeat and rose up in revolution against their Savoyard monarchy. Soon he and his son abdicated, and there was a power vacuum in Italy as socialist rebels seemed primed to overrun the entire nation. We offered the desperate Italians the aid of our armies in stopping the socialist advance in exchange for joining a new Italian federation. a legitimate government we could deal with. The Savoyards, white Republicans, and Southern forces agreed to our terms, and our armies pushed the syndicalists out of Lombardy. We did concede to the Republicans that a Republican leader would be the interim head of the Federation. Through the Federation Council, we retained some power behind the scenes. However, when the Socialists made moves to attack the southern states of the Federation in 1926, we were embroiled in the Austrian crisis and could not promise to attack the Socialists in support. Outraged, Sardinia, the Bourbons, and Naples, and even the Holy Father himself abandoned our Federation, leaving us with only Milan. Unfortunately, the Federation Council there was allowed to lapse in 1930 and has not been renewed ever since. Even worse, we recently withdrew our military from the nation due to the Black Monday crisis, leaving them far more independent than they were. Now the current Liberal government under Ivano Bonomi has pushed forward the elections in a bid for more support in the legislature. However, their victory is not a sure thing, and we have some leeway to influence the elections. The three moderate parties have a real chance of winning are the Liberal Democrats, currently in power, the People's Party, a conservative party who has enjoyed our support in the past, and the Italian Republicans, hostile to monarchy but also vehemently anti-ANI and anti-socialist. We can give our support and backing to one of the pro-Austrian political parties to ensure that the right one takes power in Milan. Some ministers, however, are far concerned that the over-involvement might result in further support for the far right and the anti-Austrian Italian Nationalist Association. So we can either keep the PLD in charge or we can try to force the PPI in charge. Does that... Yeah, so it doesn't actually matter because current ruler is Social Democrat. The Federation is Authoritarian Democrat. And I don't think that's who they're talking about. I actually think the Italian Republicans, hostile to the monarchy, are actually maybe them. But this is, no matter if it's the if it's this gentleman or whoever's next, and he was as a socialist deputy from Monte. I think support the People's Party. Yeah, the People's Party. The PPI. We'll see if that gets them the victory. In the last game, I actually chose not to do anything. The vote passed for helping out that bank over there. And the ANI did take power, but they never attacked, so it was kind of like, meh. Greece seizes Austrian assets. Thanks to the rippling effect of Black Monday, Austrian investors who held majority shares in Greek factories and mines have been closing their businesses down. In some cases because they're unprofitable, but in others because the investors have gone bankrupt. The Greek government has responded by seizing many of the worst cases, despite the Treaty of Saloniki, signed after the war, stipulating that our investors have unfettered access to their economy. Many in the government are suggesting we respond with sanctions, while others say the Greeks are simply doing what they have to in order to survive. They could, after all, have seized all investors' assets if they'd wish, and not simply some. We can apply sanctions, they must be taught a lesson, or leave them be, we're all trying to cope. I kind of want to take him as a puppet, to be 100% honest with you. And I mean, we do get, I think, right here we can approach Greece, but I think we can't approach Bulgaria if we approach Greece. And I think I can take Greece, so I'm just going to, well, it says trade sanctions, but they don't trade with us anyway. I'm not going to apply the trade sanctions. Not for this. But I will probably go down there and conquer them at some point. Yeah, Kurt von Schleicher seems like he's going to keep control. Pause. The Legation Council votes on providing aid to the Sichuan province. The southern Chinese province of Sichuan is currently experiencing a terrible famine and is struggling to save its people. They have requested that the Legation Council authorize the legation cities to help them open up new sources of grain until the land can recover. Many experts on Chinese politics, however, warn that the money we send for famine relief could just directly go into the Sichuanese warlords' pockets. approve, and an investment chance in Poland. As it so happens, Germany has decided to abandon their lordship over the Polish state railways after the KPU GHTE, the Prussian railway conglomerate, could not keep the railways running due to the massive economic downturn and lack of funds. The railway route is perhaps the single most important railway for Germany, connecting the Kaiserreich proper to her Ostentaten. The Polish government is planning to buy routes themselves, but should we decide we can buy the majority ownership of loans? While expensive in the middle of the crisis, this move could greatly increase our influence in the Polish economy and, in turn, reduces Berlin's sway over them. This is hardly the time, or it could give us leverage. Austrian influence is changed by plus 10%, and the German-Polish railway is bailed out by Austria. We only lose 15 political power, so this could leverage us in Poland. So, slight German control, strong Austrian control. Our one unit has arrived. Perfect. There's an encirclement right here. So we'll just start riding around. Cruising through town. These are horrible, by the way. Absolutely horrible units. Sports Industries 1. And I don't think they can pierce. Oh. No, it can pierce. Probably because these tanks are trash. The votes pass to assist with the famine in Sichuan. It's right there. Manuel Carlos assumes full control in Argentina. The Mingang insurgency was annexed, so now all we have left to fight is up here. The collapse of the United Baltic Duchies. There's our compromise with the SDAP. Let's get down there and get rid of that divided society. Try to get our political power back up. Turn around and finish out Flag Monday. Destroy that unit there. Dmitry is crowned Tsar. It is the end of the Russian Revolution, or just a new beginning. Let's see. That's Mongolia. You guys are paternal autocrats. Okay. Dmitry III. Kampfwagen division, which are pretty quick, I mean, to be honest. Zhang is driven from Jinan. Let's do better artillery. Yeah, they retook their capital, but I'm just gonna drive through here real quick. Exporting arms to Venezuela. We've been approached by an officer from the Venezuelan military looking to buy a large amount of small arms to refit their troops. While obviously we will have to say goodbye to part of our arms stockpile, it would be a rather lucrative contract that would stimulate our arms industry. Send 1,000 infantry equipment to Venezuela. Arms exports, grants, consumer factories factor negative 15% for 30 days. I know I'm still low, but yeah, we'll just go a negative. Another negative 1,000. Support for the Polish Republican movement. Ever since Germany robbed us of Poland during the Weltkrieg, we have been trying to undermine their monarchy. This project is born out of cooperation with the Austrian Poles, who desire unification with Free Poland, and the Imperial Hawks, who see Poland part of Austria's natural sphere of influence. Despite German attempts to keep Poland firmly in their pocket, we have garnered a lot of influence in the kingdom. Friendship organizations, industrialists, even ministers and councils. The main vessel of our influence in the Central Low Bloc, the democratic opposition to the king's government. We have been supporting the Central O for a decade now, primarily through their contacts with the Galician side of Poland. The hope is that the Central O can secure a majority electoral victory. They will move Poland dramatically away from the German sphere and into ours, which will naturally benefit both of us more than the current situation. Send them funding, or we have other issues. Yeah, we'll send them funding. Let's see. Armor conversion speed plus 15%. Factory output cost -6. So does that give me... Yeah, plus 30% conversion speed. Production output is -8% cost. That's pretty good, really. It's not the best, but I mean, it's not bad. The capital's been surrounded. Oh, we bogged down in some hills, didn't we? Yeah. Coup in Siam. There goes them. So the League is back, and they will probably join up with the Qing government. Yeah, if the Qing agrees to help the League and they stay in power, the League wins. They stay as friends. So, Middle Europa Commission submit. The front runner gender's chosen, so we do get an extra military factory. Let's do the arms experts. Get cheaper infantry, armor. Probably the only one that wants that, but there's construction level 1. Let's do... I kind of want synthetic refineries. Anti-tank though. Subsidies for farmers, do the mend the social rips. It's 35 days, gain 2 stability, and we remove divided society, which is pretty good for us. Let's see, construction, we have 11. Let's go to trade, fuel. I want 18. That should get us a lot of fuel. Volunteers have returned. Welcome home. Put you guys right back under him. Let us start. Let's actually merge all of you. Start training you up. And we'll start to train you all up. And then let's get do a better destroyer at some point, and we'll start building a bunch of destroyers out. We have good towed artillery. We're okay on some support equipment right now. Just rifles that are keeping us down. We're no longer getting the arms export, which is fine. Let's see, some Mausers. Alright, let's buy all of you. All of you. I'm good on the other ones. Let's start getting some convoys built. We'll switch those over later. Creation International Avant-Garde. We're going to siphon some more funds. Hopefully when this divided society goes away, we'll actually start getting over 1 political power a day. The Netherlands joins the Reichspakt. We're actually going to switch up this. Let's take these heavy cruisers off. We'll take you guys. You will form your own under Maximilian. That's going to be our scout group. We'll have you guys train. That says flotilla 1. We'll just leave that. Or I guess we could do UK scouting fleet. There we go. Let's see, over here in Poland, how are you all looking? Centralo's doing pretty well, actually. Mend the social rift. Let's do fill the coffers. Trade. Maybe Persia. So if they got more organization. Yeah. We can buy from Persia. Still not enough. Start training you all up as well. 1936 Dublin Olympics, not elections. The Zveno coup in Bulgaria. I'm gonna have all of you stop training. So for all of you can go up here. And then I want all 7 of you. Let's see, what are you doing for your focus tree right now? I wish they would do the dockyard. Y'all are doing national air forces. You've done the civilian side. You did 2 civilian factories and 1 military factory. Try to get that fuel gain. Siphon some more funds to the LPP. Really probably shouldn't waste all my political power like that, but be alright. Yeah, so Bulgaria is paternal autocrat. And they have not done the mission to Constantine, which they need to. A coup d'etat in Algiers. So Philip Pétain, or no, Henry Murdoch keeps power, or takes power, but they stay as authoritarian Democrat. Let's do the machine guns. Fill our coffers. Getting inflation under control, careful investments, and then we'll do what we need. Ergen Sternberg defeats the Mongol rebels, so the Mad Baron has done it, which puts them directly under the sphere of Russia. The all-Ukrainian democratic movement, like the Kingdom of Poland, the Hetman of Ukraine, is a reminder of our geopolitical designs. Germany robbed from us. The Legion of Ukraine, Shish Riflemen, fought valiantly as part of our armies in the Weltkrieg, but their democratic republic was quickly cast away by the German military and their lackey, Pavlo Skoropadsky. Ever since, remnants of the Ukrainian Republicans, directed by ex-Secretary General of Military Affairs Simon Petliura, have been based in Lviv. Despite demands of extradition, we have given the Republican safe harbor. After all, they are citizens of the dual monarchy and are allowed to organize whatever associations they want to. The Austrian-Hungarian Friendship Association, chaired by Archduke Václav von Habsburg, has been a vocal supporter of a more democratic Ukraine. In the aftermath of the economic crisis and worsening Hetmanite oppression, democratic forces in Ukraine have banded together and formed the All-Ukrainian Democratic Movement, the VDR. They are currently engaged in mass protests and even armed resistance to the hetman's forces, and officially we cannot support them, but we also do not need to hinder them. The crown land of Lodomeria has become their power base, and through there they have been smuggling equipment, men, and directing funds to the VDR-held countryside on the Ukrainian side of the border. As a local administrator in Lodomeria is more or less sympathetic towards their aims, nothing is done to stop them. Ensure the Ukrainians are not hindered. If the Republicans manage to overthrow the hetman, they will be grateful to us. Gets events of vacationers and archdukes, and the Ukrainian state gets the event, the Brody Road. Ukraine issues diplomatic protest. The Ukrainian foreign minister has sent us a strongly worded note demanding us to explain the border irregularities, especially around the border town of Brody and Redakiv. According to Ukrainian intelligence reports, our border guards have failed to stop widespread criminal smuggling operations and support terrorism in the Ukrainian state. The notice demanded us to immediately take action to alleviate the issue and issue condemnation of the illegalities of the All-Ukrainian Democratic Movement. Make vague promises but do nothing, or fine, we'll start the investigation. Yeah, we're most definitely going to do that. Sounds like exactly what we planned on doing. Of vacationers and archdukes, the foreign minister of Balhasplatz recently received an angry call from the Ukrainian embassy. A large number of Austrian citizens have crossed the border in the last couple of weeks, which the ambassador claimed is relative to recent troubles in Volhynia. More importantly, also claims that one of these vacationers is none other than Archduke Wilhelm. The ministry gave a very underwhelming response. They would seal the border if the Ukrainian government formally requested it, an indirect admission of a deep crisis in Ukraine, and ensure the Archduke would stay in Austria. What the ambassador didn't know was just how deep the rabbit hole of Austrian involvement went. The War Ministry had recently been granting generous leave to Galician servicemen, while Ukraine's own consul in Lemberg had helped the Evidence Bureau with visas and intelligence. Later today, the emperor himself would report that his kinsman was last seen yachting in Losnich in the Adriatic, knowing full well the Archduke's car had already crossed into Ukraine, driven by a certain Vasiliev Vyashevani days before the official request. Go forth, Vasil, for your country needs you. Sorry, Hetman. Not really that sorry, to be honest with you. Let's see. Supports for the arms industries pretty high, so we might as well back that as well. Of course, Germany was backing our arms experts as well, but meh. And they have the Flanders Wallonia split. Let's see. There's fill the coffers. Do getting inflation under control. Radicals win the Serbian elections. Right, did you guys? Oh, they collaborated with the local elites. Huh. That's really not something you see the AI do a whole lot, but they seem to have done it there. Romania joins the Belgrade Pact. Greece also joins the Belgrade Pact. And then there's the foundation of it. I'm going to save my political power for right now. There's the interwar artillery. Let's do better destroyers. I should have done the production efficiency gain. The Congress of Belgrade argues for a new order on the Balkans. On the initiative of Serbia, representatives of several countries have convened in Belgrade to discuss political and military situation on the Balkans. In these 14-day-long events, Serbs, Romanians, and Greeks plot to create a so-called new order in the Balkans, even going as far as to create a 14-point resolution which declares that only the self-determination of people, according to their ethnic allegiances, may be considered a just path to sovereignty and territorial claim. Clearly, the Balkans are restless once again, and the resolutions of the Belgrade Congress will surely be used to justify a common war against Bulgaria and ultimately the Austrian Empire. What is to be done about these news? Serbs and Romanians will think twice after being embargoed. We embargo all three countries. Gets Austrian Empire announces support for Bulgaria. Germany also gets that, and Albania does. Yeah, we'll do that. They get infantry equipment production cost plus 40%. That's horrid. And Albania, they chose to stay social democrat. I was hoping they would go conservative. Do that one, but it doesn't matter. Let's see. There's towed anti-tank. Let's get maintenance companies. We could acquire some more Polish economy, but the Floyd Olson's elected president in the U.S., but the black, white, and red coalition in Germany has taken power. So the conservative revolution. Okay, well, I don't mind that, actually. Of course, I did kind of overthrow the Ukrainian puppet there. Maybe I didn't, I did, agree to help the Republicans, but that doesn't always mean that I've overthrown them. There's Dispersed Industries 1. Let's get the fuel silos. That was also something that was updated. The Kingdom of Spain, you cannot send as many volunteers to as what you used to be able to. But we will be taking our first El Peñaga division, putting them under... You're reckless. You're a harsh leader. Edward Barguer. There's a mountaineer and a trickster. And send him, but we can't send any air volunteers. That's fine. Is anybody selling anything worth anything? I'll actually buy these Australian rifles. Thank you, Australasia. Mustafa Kemal has been shot. Okay, so Bulgaria did do their non-aggression pact. Syndicalist in the Baratia commune. I don't know if I've ever seen him take power. Doesn't mean it's not possible. I'm just saying I don't think I've ever seen him take power. Partner with German manufacturing firms. Yeah, so the Xing government is solely in the German sphere. Flames of Rebellions, Victory of 1919, secure the military apparatus. Yeah, so I would say that Ukraine will probably stay. The Hetman will probably stay in power. Getting some army experience, which is good. I would like for my fleets to go back out. Might not seem like it matters, but it actually does pretty well. A bunch of these being built. And let's see. You guys are doing state armories, industrial centers, military manufacturing, state armories. The Escalating Republic joins the Third Internationals. That's up here. There's getting inflation under control. Do careful investments. Need some aluminum. We'll have to wait till we're done buying this equipment. Liberal victory in Brazil. Our troops have arrived in the Kingdom of Spain. Does not look like Germany is sending any troops. There's a Morocco division. Oh, and there's Serbia versus Bulgaria. Let's see. Let's get the 2nd Alpine Jaeger Division under Wilhelm Venhier, maybe? Actually, let's do the 1st. We'll do that. Put the Alpine Jaeger back. Oh yeah, we're not building trucks. What's wrong with me? My bad. The 4th Balkan Wars. We'll send our troops down there. Oh, here comes Germany. We got Erich von Manstein versus Frederick Browning. The Lingwang Click declared war on the Lingwang Click. It's the old, it's not old, but the Batman meme, or the Spider-Man meme where Spider-Man's pointing at Spider-Man. You got the socialist Lingwang Click, and you actually have the Guangxi Click. It's paternal autocrats. Which I think you guys, hate somebody. Yeah, you hate the KMT aligned. Fevzi Pasha seizes power. I think if they win, they join up with the League, maybe. Not sure. Let's see. Let's do passive sonars. Bulgaria gets R1 division. Germany sent 4 divisions. Italian democracy survives after many months of terrorist attacks by the ANI rocked the Italian Republic and caused many within the nation to doubt the government's ability to maintain order. A vote of no confidence was held in Milan today. If passed, many feared it would have signaled the Republic's collapse. But the narrowest of margins, the motion was defeated, and the Prime Minister Giovanni Gronchi has announced from the steps of the government building that the democracy in Italy had survived its greatest challenge and that the Republic would live on. So you have Giovanni Gronchi, who is PPI. Awesome. Front runner chosen, so we get the military workshop. Let's see. Let's get that civilian workshop now. Mexico declares war on the Yucatan. You have nationalist populists in charge down here in Mexico. Actually wouldn't mind improving relations and trying to negotiate market access with them. even though we're not nationalist populists. Up here, it should be the Social Democrats want it out, but it looks like market liberals will probably take over. Germany canceled a non-aggression pact with us. The Kummel Khanate declared war on the Xinjiang clique. How rude, Germany. How rude. The nationalist coup in Bolivia, and the Yunnan clique falls into a civil war. Ooh. The failed revolt in Ukraine. Get the foreign minister Vasilo got himself into trouble again. For some time now, the German climate state of Ukraine, led by Hetman Pavlo Skorpindinsky, has been embroiled in an uprising led by the Republican opposition, originally operated in Austrian Galicia. Now it seems that the future of the Hetmanite is secured that the news the Republicans' forces have been driven out of the country, barring a few pockets of resistance scattered throughout the western portion of the state. The ends of the revolts have marked a victory for authoritarian hardliners and Hetman loyalists who have used the uprising as a pretext to suspend the Soim and consolidate power. Whoops. We tried. Yep, so it's now all the Hetman's men. Start building that. I never go down that route, but look at that. Soft attacking reliability for our rifles. Let's see. Of course, construction. We got two factories. Pinned us down, the Russians. There's the careful investments. Now the Congress of the Polish Socialist Party. The Polish Socialist Party will gather this week in Radom to elect a new Central Workers Committee. This is of utmost relevance to us as the candidate is our good ally Norbert Barlicki, whereas another is a dangerous revolutionary socialist, Stanislaw Dubois, who is obviously in the French pocket. If Dubois and his faction win, it might lead to the radicalization of the PPS, a splintering of the Central Bloc, and the collapse of our efforts in Poland. Some of the less optimistic people in the Foreign Office do not like the idea of meddling in Poland even further, and point out that Dubois is unlikely to win in the first place. We can either pull a few strings to make sure he won't win, though. The Polish Socialist Party will turn Republican aligned, increasing our influence over there dramatically, or it's not our business. No, it is our business. We'll finish out with what we need, and we'll probably end the episode. Put you guys back on the defensive. It's Turkestan. Long Yun seizes power in Yunnan. So they did not go with the KMT, they actually just went with Long Yun. So you actually get, Long Yun click, cult of personality. You can consider continue isolation, or they can go down the national protection route. I would guess that they'll probably go down that and then get beat by the Shin government in the league. Norbert Barlicki elected as chairman of the PPS. The vote was a close one and possibly the most intense in decades. After hours of debate and arguments from both sides, Norbert Barlicki supporters ultimately won the day. The result prompted outrage among the more radical members of the Congress, but it seemed that this outcome gives the royal government a chance to breathe. Whether he is not a fire and brimstone socialist like Du Bois is, but he has been open towards cooperation with the monarchy in the past. However, he is known to harbor contacts to the Austrian side of Poland, but then again, so is most of the Central, so that this is hardly news. Seems like we're popular in Poland, gained 15 political power. That is not the ZZZ, it's these guys. There's a standoff in America. Socialists assume full control in Norway, so Sweden automatically joins the Reichspakt. And they've allowed the American Union states to... Oh, they've allowed both of them to. Usually if you see the government choose Floyd Olsen, sorry, he actually will kill either Huey Long or Jack Reed. They actually assassinate him. So, and it actually looks like the Yucatan is beating Mexico right now, but we're holding here. Greece has done a little bit of pushing. Romania's pushed a little bit. The Carlists have pushed a little bit. I'm going to hold off right now because I actually want to... There's an army reformer or army offense. I really like the reformers just because it gets the additional... Let's do him. An extra military factory. Italian Republic cancels their non-aggression pact. But why? Those planes are horrible. Do some more artillery. Port equipment and trucks. Yeah, I see that. I thought you guys liked me. Hold our core provinces. Don't be like that. Heavy tank designer. My troops are going to slowly walk over there. Take Belgrade. The only problem is, even if we do take Belgrade, well, he might move faster than us. What it looks like. Oh, they left Belgrade wide open though. It doesn't capitulate him. Actually have to take Podgorica and Krelij. Collins is ousted by the Radical Coalition. Uh-oh. Yep, Socialist Labor. Socialist Democrats. That's not good. Serbia. Oh, never mind. Serbia will capitulate if you just take Belgrade. Haha. Second American Civil War. We can support the United States or the AUS. Kind of hope Floyd Olsen wins, actually, or Floyd Olsen. Let's see. I can't believe those guys are beating them right now. Have pushed pretty hard. There's the fall of New York City. Who took New York? the Federalist forces. Oh, and then there's the New England, who automatically joins the Entente. Huh. I didn't know they'd done that. I really don't pay much attention when that goes on, so if they break that unit there, they'll be much better off. About done with what we need. It's the fall of Madrid, Princely Federations, Thessalonica. See, even the Ottomans have troops up here. That's what we need. Hawaii joins the Co-Prosperity Sphere. Kind of rare for them, for you to see that, actually. Expand the Austrian military. Let's actually do the protectors of the Balkans. And with that, I'm going to end the episode. I hope you all have enjoyed episode 1 of the new start of our Austrian Empire campaign. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.